And open up for questions.
Yeah, well, really proud of our group, proud of our team, coaching staff. I missed a practice, family kind of deal. It was I think, first time in my career that I've ever missed some prep time. But I thought my staff did a phenomenal job. Players were bought in. It was, just one of those things that came up quickly, emergency type situation. And then that's when, when you have the right people, players, coaches in place, and then things like this happen, you're just, man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of it. I'm thankful for everything's fine. We're going to be okay. But just, man, it just makes you really appreciate what you have and the people that you get to do this with. So certainly don't take those things for granted. But that was really special to me. And really proud of our group. So, and just how they handled everything. So, to the game, I thought Temple is they're a really good basketball team. They present some problems. They're athletic at the guard. They've got some length. I thought we had some advantages coming in, which we were able to take advantage of. I thought we controlled most of the night. Kind of had a couple different strategies coming in on how we wanted to play it, like trying to speed them up or trying to control tempo. We kind of did it last year a little bit too. But I thought we forced them into some really just high difficulty of shots, and they like to take and settle for so many mid-range jump shots. But for us to finally shoot it and make shots and see the ball go through the hoop offensively for us was really, really good. Didn't always love us defensively. We'll continue to get better on that end. We had been probably a little bit better than we were tonight, but again, they're a little dynamic at the guard, so it's a little bit harder to contain them at times. Rebounding wasn't great in the first half. I thought we cleaned that up a little bit in the second half, but good to just see a bunch of kids score and share it and spread it, and like I said, shoot it at a high percentage. So another home win. We're developing a little identity here. Now we'll take this on the road.
So missing that make you feel a little disconnected, maybe missing that prep time, like, oh, I've got to read the scouting report now a little bit to kind of plug back in?
Well, yes and no. I was involved early on it, so it was, it wasn't just completely blind to me, but you certainly miss quite a bit with technology now, though, in film and different things. You're able to, stay somewhat involved. But, yeah, you certainly miss. There was some unknown to it, I don't know if that was a good feeling or not, but a part of me was just at peace with it, knowing that it was handled without me, and then you just kind of move on. But, they were prepared, and that's a credit to our staff and players.
In the offseason, the big question was who was going to fill that score, and JJ that you lost tonight. You had two of your transfers have double-digit scoring. How does it feel to finally get Gia and Riley kind of, it seems like, over that hump? It seemed like everything was falling for them.
Yeah, they're good players. We're going to get better, as most teams do, but we'll get better. We're going to figure some things out. Still some kids that just not quite there and where we want them to be. So it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it's not as quick. In this day and age with the portal and so much newness, it just takes sometimes a second. But, yeah, Gia was really good. You saw some of what she can do, and she can make threes. She can get downhill, can be a good defender, and we're going to continue to challenge her to even be better. But I think she had her career high in steals, if I remember correctly, tonight. Riley, she can score. She's smart. She can play off 2 feet, can defend. She'll keep rebounding it. That will be great for us. Excited for both of them, but for several of the new kids still too.
Mark, the first 5 or 6 minutes, Temple looked really comfortable, and then you guys kind of took over. What changed after that bit?
Yeah, I know at the media, I think we went on after the first quarter media, we went on like a 12-2 run, and it was just, I think, settling in. It was going a little bit faster. We knew it was going to be that the pace of that game was going to be considerably faster than our previous two, and I just don't think we were quite. Some were ready, others maybe not quite ready for that pace, and so I thought we were kind of slow in some rotations and different things. And then once we finally took a breath, I do know we changed the lineup a little bit at that point too, so it probably gave us a little bit more of, kids that can move a little bit quicker and faster to kind of settle us down.
Sydney had 10 rebounds. She's averaging like 7 a game through 3. She had like 3 last year, so what's different with that?
Yeah, I think it's her just growth and development, and her trying to add to her bag, as the kids like to say. But she does have an ability to rebound. We really challenged the guards coming into this game about kind of rebound down, we call it, but like go help us rebound. They have an elite rebounder in 91. And so we wanted to do a good job on her, and then we needed others to kind of clean up the glass. And so, Sydney's done a much better job of that. I think she's growing. She's in a good place mentally. This is back-to-back games where she's been pretty good, but done it in different ways. But her shooting's efficient. She still turned down one or two that she probably needs to take and should take. But team player, just wants to get better and wants to be the best player she can be. And this is a new area to add to the bag.
So you mentioned, obviously, your team is shooting it a lot better. Does it kind of help the prep-wise of getting ready for a team like Duke now that your team has started to see shots go in and now you can turn to Duke and what you got to do for them?
Yeah, you hope. They're one of the best defensive teams, in the country. So, we'll have to be dialed in. We'll have to be connected. We weren't all the time. Our passing and some of our execution was not as good as it needs to be. And when you're going to play a team like Duke, who's got length and size and physicality, you've got to be dialed in. So we've got to kind of get back to the drawing board on a couple of those things and make sure we're ready to roll. I don't imagine we're going to score 89 on the Blue Devils, but at least we got it going a little bit and we saw the ball go through the hoop.
You talked a little bit about that first quarter run, but halfway through, like the timeout in the third quarter, I counted a 36-14 run to end the game. Was that just you guys started clicking, or did you guys make an adjustment at that timeout?
No, I don't think we changed too much at that. We talked about a few things at halftime to adjust. We came in with a couple different, game plans, if you want to call it that, just different options that we had if we like this. A lot of it was just in the press and the press breaker, which we did change a little bit of what we do in the press in the second half to kind of try to eliminate some, and I thought that was a good adjustment. But nothing really, just to get it free-flowing and get shots, and when you get them, be ready to take them and make them, play through the paint a little bit, which I thought we did a decent job of.
Mark, going into Friday is obviously a great opponent. It's also a unique environment. Do you get a practice and a shoot around down there? How do you kind of prepare for playing in a different environment?
Yeah, I believe the answer is yes. I'll find out, I guess, tonight. I'll turn my attention to that trip. Yes, we do go down, I believe, and shoot, and yes, we have a shoot around. So, it'll be a different environment. I don't know if I've maybe once or twice played in, that ballroom type environment. I think my kids have been down there and played, but I hadn't been down there to get to watch them yet. So it'll be fun. It's going to be it's maybe seats, I think 1,100 or something, I want to say. And I know it sold out really quickly. And, we're playing in the southern part of the state that we don't get down to obviously ever. And it's harder for them to get up here to watch us. So hopefully it's a pro Mountaineer West Virginia crowd, and it's going to be a great game and on national TV against a quality opponent. And the coach is the national, our national team coach now. So we've got a great challenge in front of us, but I know our players will be excited to compete.
So you mentioned how tied in your son is to all these different things. Are you going to ask your son and your daughter about, what it was like to play in that environment?
Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, I might. I'm not sure. They'll be glad to tell me all about it, I'm sure. But yeah, they're coming, so they'll be down there too. So I guess they can give me a little bit, about the low ceilings and just some different stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be getting too much advice from a high school teenagers on this one. But they're pretty much in the know, my son especially. But I don't know if we'll have that conversation.
All three games have been large scoring margins, obviously. What have you been able to do to keep your team from getting complacent and keep them dialed in all through?
It's November 11th, so I don't think we should. That's way too early, I think, to get complacent. We knew this, could potentially be a battle, so I think they were dialed in, and we just kind of rallied around each other on this deal, and obviously it won't be too hard to get them fired up for Friday. I don't think this is the time of year. I think once you get into the second semester, maybe some of that complacency or, December right before the break, I think as coaches, you always worry about those couple of games, when you're thinking about the holidays and things like that. But we're 3 games in. We're still excited. We're still trying to get better. We haven't put a whole game together. We haven't got everybody on the same page yet. And that's, I think, what is exciting for me is there's just a lot, in a big direction that we can still take this thing.
Thanks, Coach.